Welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level Civics and Citizenship lesson, and today we're going to talk about the rights of a citizen. So all citizens have some rights, and the goal of a government is to protect these rights. Here are some pictures that kind of illustrate some of the rights that people have. The right to vote, the right to a fair trial, the right to free speech, the right to follow their own religion. All right, and so again, we'll match these pictures to the different rights listed in the boxes. So picture A would be freedom of speech. Picture B would be the right to vote. Picture C would be freedom of religion. Picture D would be the right to a fair trial. Right to a fair trial. Picture E would be the right to assemble. And picture F would be the right to bear arms. Here are some other rights that we can match with the pictures. So picture A, I believe, would be the right to petition. Picture B would be the right to equal protection. Picture C would be the right to due process. Picture D would be the right to an education. And picture E would be the right to privacy. All right, so now you can take a few moments, pause the video, and match these definitions to the words on the left. And you can restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. So a document signed by many people asking for a change, that would be number 4, a petition. A process in which people vote to choose their leaders or to make important decisions, that would be number 8, an election. A formal process in a court of law to decide if a person is guilty or innocent, that would be number 6, a trial. The legal procedures that must be followed in a fair way to protect a person who's accused of a crime, that's number 7, due process. Speaking or talking to communicate information is number 1, speech. When people come together in a group or gathering, that's number 2, assembly. When people come together to express disagreement, that's number 3, a protest. And the state of being free from observation of others is number 5, the right to privacy. All right, we have a few more rights to match with their descriptions. Okay, so citizens can have a fair trial if they are accused of a crime. Well, that's number 3, the right to a fair trial. Citizens can come together peacefully for protests, meetings, or other activities. That's number 6, the right to assemble. Citizens can practice any religion or no religion at all. That would be number 4, freedom of religion. Citizens can own and carry firearms with some rules. That would be number 5, the right to bear arms. Citizens can sign a form asking for something from the government if they are unhappy. That's number 7, the right to petition. Citizens can have privacy in their homes and personal lives. That would be number 8, the right to privacy. Citizens of all races, genders, and religions can be treated the same way. That would be the number 9, the right to equal protection. Citizens can say what they want to say. That's number 1, freedom of speech. And life, liberty, or property cannot be um, taken away from a citizen without a fair legal process. That's number 10, the right to due process. Looks like I skipped letter E. Citizens can vote in elections to choose their leaders. That was number 2, the right to vote. All right, again, here we have some common phrases. So first we want to match the words on each side to make a common phrase, and then I'd like you to try to um, make a sentence with each of these phrases. All right, so number 1, obey a law. We could serve on a jury, sign a petition, practice religion, um, vote in an election. Let's see, run for office. Let's see, run for office, access health care, and defend the country. All right, so let's decide if each of these things is a right, a responsibility, or both. So voting, it's definitely a right. Some people might also consider it a responsibility. Um, so a right possibly, or possibly both. Oops, I should make that a little clearer as to they both are. So we do it this way. So rights here, we'll put responsibility. And both. All right, so voting is definitely a right. Obeying laws would be a responsibility. Paying taxes would be a responsibility. Serving on jury duty would be a responsibility. Defending the country, I think that would also be a responsibility. Signing a petition would be a right. Practicing religion would be a right. Writing and speaking freely would be a right. Privacy would be a right. And access to health care would be a right. All right, now we're going to talk about modal verbs. We can use modal verbs to describe the rights and responsibilities of a citizen. So can and may are used to show permission. So citizens can express their opinions and ideas through speech and assembly. Everyone may peacefully protest to show their opinions about important issues. Individuals can petition their government to make changes. Must is used to show obligation or requirement. Citizens must follow the laws so that everyone stays safe. During a trial, citizens must receive due process and a fair legal process. All right, so now you can complete these sentences with either can, must, or must not. So you can pause the video, try that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to see the answers. So citizens must obey the laws of their country. Citizens can vote in elections to choose their leaders. Citizens must perform jury duty when they are asked to. Citizens can peacefully protest when they believe something is wrong. Citizens can petition their government if they want a law to change. Citizens must not be denied the right to vote based on their race, gender, or religion. Citizens must pay taxes to support government services. Citizens can run for public office to represent their community. Citizens must not break the law. And citizens must stop at red lights. Here are a few more. So citizens can volunteer to help their community or support charitable causes. Citizens must not be discriminated against in employment based on their age. Citizens must not be violent during protests. Citizens must not discriminate against others based on their race, gender, or religion. Citizens must not damage personal or damage public property. Citizens can practice any religion they choose. Citizens can say what they want to say. And citizens must have a driver's license in order to drive. So when you think about those rights, which right do you think is the most important? Which rights do people have in your native country? And do people in your native country have other rights that weren't mentioned in this? So you can think about that and leave those in the comments if you would like to. All right, so some rights in different countries. So citizens' rights can be different in every country. Here's some rights that citizens of other countries that may have that might be different from the US. And so think about whether people in your native country have these rights. So the right to health care. Some countries provide universal health care to all citizens. They give everyone access to medical services without high health care costs. So that is one right that we do not currently have in the United States. Right to education. In some nations, citizens have the right to free and mandatory education until a certain age or level of schooling. We do have that right in the US. Right to paid parental leave. Some countries give parents the right to paid leave to care for new children. In the US, we have parental leave, but currently it is unpaid. The right to housing. Some countries have policies to provide housing options for all citizens. That isn't, that should be a right everywhere, but unfortunately, we don't have policies in every place in the United States for that. So that results in a homeless population. And the right to internet access. A few countries have declared access to the internet as a basic right to help keep people knowing what is going on. And again, that is not a right, unfortunately, that we have in the United States currently. So responsibilities in different countries. So here are some responsibilities that citizens of other countries may have. And so discuss if people in your native country have these responsibilities. So mandatory voting. Some countries have laws that require citizens to vote in elections, making it a civic duty rather than an option. That is not one that we have here in the US. It's not mandatory to vote. It's a good idea, but it's not mandatory. National service. Some countries require citizens to complete military service or other forms of national service. Again, we do not have that in the United States. The only time that we did was when during wartime when there was a military draft, but we don't. That has not been in effect since the Vietnam War, so we don't currently have the draft or any other sort of mandatory national service. Environmental conservation. So, citizens in some countries have a responsibility to protect the environment. Again, this is one that we probably should have in the US, but we don't currently. And financial support for family. In specific cultures, adult children are expected to provide financial support to their parents in their old age. Again, that is not a responsibility in the US. Parents do have that responsibility to support their children, but not their parents. All right, so this is just a review. Think about your rights and responsibilities as a citizen. What can you do? What must you do? And what things must you not do? And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.